Mountain West Championship game here, guys. Boise State and UNLV from Las Vegas, Nevada. Do note this is UNLV's home field. 1 o'clock Pacific time kick here, I believe on Fox. And it looks like 59 being the total. Boise State -2 in the hook. A couple shops showing -2 flat here. And a little bit of breakdown just kind of from a glimpse view. This is a great matchup overall. Can't wait to watch this. But UNLV, their rushing attack, 36 rushing touchdowns on the ground. That's number one in the country. But now they're up against Boise State's defense. And coming off of playing Air Force, looking good there, they're only letting up their defensive, their rushing defense, only allowing 3.7 yards per carry. So that matchup here, who can win in the trenches, the Rebels or the Broncos? Particularly when UNLV has the ball, probably going to go a long way to saying who wins this game. And looking at the lines, guys, UNLV is 9-3, Boise State just 7-5. And ATS wise, Boise State was really just 6-6 against the spread. If you've been betting them, you likely just lost a little bit of cash. Whereas UNLV was the most profitable team in the country, sitting at 10-2 against the spread. Yet Boise being the short road favorite. I'm calling them a road favorite here because it is in Las Vegas. And I think that's really telling. When you look at these records, Boise State sitting at just 7-5. I mean, some of the teams they played, they went at Memphis there in the Liberty Bowl. They played at Washington, also played against UCF, a really difficult schedule. UNLV, not that same type of kind of competition out of conference anyway. These two teams did not play each other. UNLV coming off of a loss here, their last regular season game to San Jose State, and San Jose State being left out of the Mountain West Championship game. Kind of a head scratcher there. But hey, they went to all three teams tied 6-2 in conference, and they went by computer rankings. So SJSU left out. But either way, great game overall. And I actually think this line is very telling. We're getting the 7-5 team just 6-6 against the spread as the favorite. I think the odds makers are telling us something here, guys. I think Boise State, since the change at the head coach position, they've cashed their last 3 games against the spread, playing better football. I think Boise State goes into Las Vegas and gets the Mountain West Championship game here, and they do it by more than a field goal. I like the Broncos in this one.
Drew had some great points there. And Drew, strength of schedule. You talked about Boise's schedule and UNLV's schedule. Strength of schedule, Boise's played the number 70 strength of schedule. UNLV, number 114. One point I want to bring up, a little TNA. When we're looking at conference championships, home teams that are a favorite of -3.5 or higher have actually covered 57%. But home dogs or home picks like UNLV have only gone 5-6 against the spread. A very small sample size, so we're not going to take much of it. But I do want to let you know, if you think home field edge means a lot, if you're the dog or a small favorite, it hasn't meant anything. If you're a sizable favorite, then yes, there has been an edge. To me, we talk about Boise, we talk about the coaching change, and it's funny. I look back at Boise last year. If you remember, after 4 games, they started 2-2. Brockmeyer leaves, and all of a sudden they run the table going 7-2 the rest of the season and have a very nice season. This year, after Avalos got fired, they lost their top receiver, McAllister, who also said he's going to leave. McAllister has 873 yards without playing the last 3 games. The next receiver for them is Aston Genty with 537 yards. So despite missing the last 3 games, he still has 340 yards more. He has also an 18.4 yards per catch. So that is a big loss. But what did they do? They went to their run game. They rushed for 42. They rushed 42 times against New Mexico, 48 times against Utah State, 38 times against Air Force. The rush attack of this team and the offensive line have been dynamite. They've allowed 13 sacks on the year. 1 every 3.9% of the time the quarterback passes back. But I look at the last 4 weeks, 232 yards per game and 5.6 yards per carry. When I'm matching up to the Rebels, and being here in Vegas, I've watched almost every UNLV game. And the eye test is a lot of it is coming with mirrors. On the season, they're only plus 33 yards per game. They were plus 8 turnovers, which helps them a lot. But when I look at the last 2 games, it clearly has me leaning only one way. Air Force, we know they're going to rush a lot. 62 carries, 344 yards, 5.5 yards per carry. But that San Jose State game last week that they lost, they gave up 40 carries for 233 yards, 5.8 yards per carry. Boise will run the ball against UNLV. And then let's forget, UNLV's played football for 100 years. This is their first conference championship game, second conference championship game, excuse me. They were once in the WAC, I think 1974. So in 100 years, this is their second conference championship game. Boise, been there, done that. They've been there 6 times in the last 10 years or so. This is a team accustomed to playing the big games. Are they going to be intimidated coming to Las Vegas and playing in Allegiant Stadium? No, they're excited. They get to play in an NFL stadium. College kids love that. So to me, Boise's going to travel well. They've been there and done that. UNLV exceeded expectations. There's a lot of stories here that Oda may be going somewhere. Rob broke it down about Toledo's head coach getting a lot of looks. Odom is trying to silence all the talk, but it does matter to those teams and if their coach is going to be there after the season ends. Been there, done that. Rush attack, rush defense, all adds up to the Broncos winning the Mountain West in 2023.